Man, so here it is. Saturday, right? This Saturday, I go up to New York. I go to New York. I spend time with my people, my boys. Got to meet some people. Got to hang out with some people. Go to Nintendo New York. Hung out with Robbie Miller, with Joe After Work, my dude. Got to meet him again and hang out. Josue Ponce, Nin Mobile News. Love that guy. So awesome. Jamsey, got to hang out with Jamsey. My boy Miguel. He went up with me. Robbie Miller goes from like Baltimore to New York, like 6 hour drive to come hang. Are you serious? Anyway, the coolest thing is we go to Nintendo New York, right? And here I am, and I'm doing my thing. I go and I buy this thing because I'm like, listen, I need a second console. Gotta have a second console. I put the poll up on Twitter. There's a few you haters out there telling me, don't buy it. You'll have the Switch Mini in a couple weeks. What are you doing? And I'm like, no. This is the second console I need. This is the one I want. Switch Mini next year. Come on now. Stop with your nonsense. And Switch Lite, you say. Mother. What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Nintendo Guru. Man, listen, here it is. Here we are. Here we go. Nintendo Guru today. That moment where we take the top news, whatever we're going to talk about, whatever I want to talk about today, the hypeness through the roof. Nintendo comes out of nowhere and comes and hits us with a hammer blow out of nowhere. Like the RKO out of nowhere, right? Like you've seen on the memes. You've seen the memes, Randy Orton. Like, yeah, right? Okay. So anyway, I'm sitting there. Wake up this morning, I'm going to work, and I'm drinking my coffee, and I'm hanging out, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Switch Lite? It's a thing? And I'm looking, and I'm like, wait a minute. First problem. This is Nintendo UK. This isn't Nintendo of America. This might not come to the United States. We might have issues here, people. Because don't tell me that this, because of fears, here's in my ear, I hear it in my ear, and it's going like,
Bobby, we might not get this. We might not get this. Seriously, remember the new 3DS with the faceplates? We didn't get that, and you were upset, and you were so mad, and you didn't understand it. You were furious, and you were all fired up, and this could be again. And I'm like,
shut up, calm down.
And then a little bit later, Nintendo puts all those fears aside, and they go, hey man, we are going to get this. This is going to happen. This is going to be a thing. Get ready. So, first off, we get three phenomenal colors. We get turquoise, we get yellow, we get gray. And I see them and I'm like, I love them. Love every one. And then, here we go. Pokemon Sword and Shield Special Edition, Limited Edition. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Man, I want every single one. And I don't even know which one to pick. It's like, you're the prom king.
not really.
And you get to pick the girl of your dreams to go to prom with.
Not really.
And you pick this girl, and you're like, maybe I don't like that one. Maybe I like this one. And then you're like, no, maybe I don't like that. Man, let me go with all of them because I'm a stud, right? And
not really.
And you go to the prom with 4 girls, and you think you're all.
Not really. Anyway.
Let me get to the point. Point is I love all 4 of them. I think they're gorgeous. And I'm just torn between what do I get and what do I do. And I guess we'll get to that soon. But I want to talk about the differences between the two. And I mean, obviously, aesthetically, we see the differences. But let's get into the little meat and potatoes a little bit about this. So the Switch original weighed almost 1 pound. The new one is rocking a little over a half a pound, which tells you there's a big weight difference. A half a pound, I think you'll start to feel it as time goes on. Size-wise, the screen, they're both still touchscreen. One is 6.5 or almost inches, and the other one is 5.5. So it's a little bit like a little bit less than a half an inch or a little bit over a half an inch size difference in the screen, which isn't much, really isn't much. And I think the smaller screen, honestly, is going to bode better because of the fact that it's going to be more crisper. When you shrink things down, they just get crisper. Sometimes it might be harder to see when it depends on the game you're playing, but I like this idea. I like this concept of the smaller screen. Finally, battery life. With the original Switch, you got 2.5 hours to 6.5 hours, depending on the game, depending on what you were doing. With this one, same thing, depending on what you're doing, what you're playing, and all that stuff. 3 to 7 hours, which is a bump, a small bump, not the bump that people, I think, expected with shrinking everything down and taking some of the things that are a drain of the original Switch, like HD rumble, the IR sensor. We get a proper D-pad on this thing. Something that I have wanted and screamed for the original Switch for so long. So the fact that we get a proper D-pad immediately tells me this becomes something I need to have. Just because of the fact of, man, I would love to be able to play Switch Online games, to play them old school games in handheld, those games like Mutant Mudds, those games like Shovel Knight, those games like SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2 and all that stuff. Like all these classic games that feel old but are new. I love playing with a proper D-pad. I don't like the analog sticks. This gives me that ability. Seriously. The other thing too, in my mind, I'm thinking, do I transfer my data over and make this a primary Switch, or do I just make it a secondary Switch? Which is very likely for me. Seriously. There's some people that are upset, rightfully so. People, I get your gripes. I understand it's not the Switch that we're used to, and I get that. Trust me. But I feel like in the naming of this, Nintendo had to stick with Switch. The minute you don't call it Switch, I think you immediately change people's perceptions of what it is. And then you truly confuse the market. We in the United States, in North America, in the world, are accustomed to when you hear the word light, you think lesser. There's a lot of things in this world that we know that we view as a light version, and we know that's basically a filtered down, changed up version. This is no different. Nintendo needs to send a message to the parents that are going out on Christmas that, hey, this is a Switch. It's just a little bit lesser than what the original console is. And that becomes a sales job from the store people. Like the store associates need to send this message to a customer that comes in at Christmas time is going to buy their kids. What if you have 3 kids, right? Let's use the example. You got 3 kids. I walk into Best Buy and I go, hey man, want to get my kids a Switch. But money's an issue and I'd rather put some money into some games, but I got 3 kids. What do I do? What's my option? Do I just buy one Switch? Yes, but no. And now you have the ability, you can either buy one regular Switch that plugs to the TV and maybe give that to your eldest kid, or you buy 3 Switch minis and go that route, or you buy the one big one and the 2 smalls, or however the mix and the match is. But I think at the end of the day, this is a bigger move for Nintendo to get more Switch consoles, which they've said all along, in the hands of families. They wanted multiple consoles in multiple houses. This is how they do it. This becomes an impulse buy at $200. You don't think about it. It's just, boom, give me it. $200, this crazy edition? Think about it. That console that I bought was $400. Trust me when I say this. It was not an easy decision. The people that were there with me will tell you, I went back and forth in my mind for a good 30 minutes. Upstairs, downstairs, walking around, do I do it, do I don't, whatever. I put the question out to Twitter to get some vibe to see what people would say. They thought I was just crazy, which, yeah, I'm crazy, I get it. God, I'm sorry. But anyway, it was a tougher decision for me to pull the trigger on a $400 piece of equipment than a $200 piece of equipment. $200 is a no-brainer. I have multiple 3DSs back there that are special edition because the price point is so low. With this, trust me, it gets me hyped up to know that I could potentially buy 1 to 2 of these of colors that I like and get ones that I want. And then Christmas time, I'm already thinking about family members. I could buy family members these and not think about it. The big one you think about. This thing is going to move like crazy, especially and a territory like Japan, where they are already using the regular Switch as a mobile handheld gaming device, and that's all they're using it for. This is a great move for Nintendo. Regardless if people like the name, they like the branding, they like the marketing, it doesn't matter. This is a home run all day long. Sorry, just is. And I can't see it any other way. This is huge for Nintendo. This is the move that should have been made probably a year ago. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Better late than never. Makes me wonder what a Switch Pro happens, when it happens, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. The thing that has me hyped, so hyped, Animal Crossing Special Edition, Link's Awakening Special Edition, Breath of the Wild Special Edition. Like, could you imagine a special edition that looks like the Sheikah Slate? Like, man, they could do so much with this stuff. Because it's not a high expense, there's not a lot of risk with this. When you think about it, Xbox doesn't do a whole lot of special editions. PlayStation doesn't do a whole lot of special editions. They do a lot, but nowhere near what they could be doing, and nowhere near like what Nintendo did with the 3DS. $200, they know it'll sell, they know they'll blow it out. It's a win for Nintendo, and I love it, and I can't wait. That is all. Thank you guys for watching today's episode. I hope you liked it. If you did, smash the like button down below. Share it with all your friends. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Follow me, Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. One final thing. Let me know, comments below, would you buy it? Are you buying it? Are you buying it day 1? Are you buying it day 10? Are you buying it day never? Let me know, please. I'm very interested. I want to know what you guys think. That is all. Peace out, Preston.